For those of you who want to support the channel that little bit more, you can join and become members. You'll have the access to badges and perks others don't. Becoming a member is another great way to support the channel, and it's going to help me improve on the channel's quality. If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up, Mod Squad? MOB back with another Division 2 build breakdown video. In today's video, I want to showcase my TU12 skill build. Now, this is a build a lot of other content creators have also made, so I'd class this as a TU12 cookie cutter skill build, if anything. The reason I made this build video is because I shouldn't assume all of you watch everybody else's content or trust the information they give you. I'm all up for supporting channels and supporting community growth, but I have seen some really terrible builds put out there along with some bad information. Like telling people the capacitor, the new exotic AR, gains a damage buff when paired with a Crusader shield, or I've seen skill damage builds put out there without any skills that do damage. I want to make it very clear that the new exotic assault rifle capacitor boosts skill damage, and the only way it gains weapon damage is through the build having extra yellows. That's due to the second part of the talent. Shooting the capacitor with a Crusader shield up isn't classed as skill damage, so the capacitor won't gain any damage buff from it. Now, if you use to deflect the shield, the bullets that deflect off the shield are seen as skill damage. Therefore, the capacitor buff would boost the damage numbers of the deflected bullets, but the damage of the weapon itself wouldn't increase, as skill damage is skill damage and weapon damage is weapon damage. Now that I've cleared that up, today's build is a build that makes a lot of the harder content in the game a lot easier to get through. It's a build that works well solo or in a group, and is one of the best builds for new players as it's easy to make and easy to use. This isn't a build you typically see me use, as it's not my preferred playstyle. I am more of a run and gun type of guy, but that being said, this build is a lot of fun to use because who doesn't like blowing up clusters of NPCs? With today's build, we'll be using the mortar turret, which hits for 8 million plus damage with all buffs active, and alongside that we're using one of my favourite skills to use, that being the striker drone, which is hit for 160k per bullet with all of its buffs active. So this build is a great combination of burst damage and damage over time. The mortar turret is great for your standard red, purple and elite NPCs, and the drone is great for the robotics, heavies and boss type NPCs. If you want a build that requires little effort to use, makes farming feel casual and fun, then this is the build for you. All this build really requires is good positioning and decent timing. All you have to do is find a good place to post up, sit in cover and direct your skills, and it's as simple as that. To make this build even less work, you could switch this to the technician specialization and use the assault turret striker drone combo, which many others do. Before we get into the build breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, as it really does help push the channel into the recommended section, which in turn helps us grow. Don't forget guys, leave your opinions down in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. Subscribe for lots more Division 2 content, and with that said, let's get into the build breakdown. Right guys, getting into the build breakdown, starting off with the specialization, we have the demolitionist. We are using this for the extra explosive damage. That combined with China Light really helps the damage of the mortar turret. Moving on to the main weapon of the build, it's the new exotic AR, the capacitor. If you guys want to go over its talent, pause the video to look at it in greater detail. We'll go over the attachments real quick. 10% crit hit chance on the scope, 30% crit hit damage on the muzzle, we have 10% weapon handling on the grip, and then we have the 11 extra rounds from the magazine. Moving on to our secondary, which is the harmony, we are perfectly in sync. Most of the time you're going to be using a capacitor, but if you don't have the capacitor, the harmony is definitely one to use. Moving on to our gear now, starting off with our mask, we have the Empress, which gives us 10% skill health, 10% skill damage and 10% skill efficiency. We have 1 skill tier, 8.7% skill damage, 11.8% skill haste and 8.9% skill duration. Now you can go for skill haste or skill duration, it's totally up to you guys, or you can even go for status effect, which will help long out the bleed from the mortar turret. It's all preference. The chest piece, we have 1 piece of China Light for the 15% explosive damage. We have 1 skill tier, 9.9% status effect, 10% skill damage, 12% skill haste, and then we have glass cannon. All damage you deal amplified by 25%. All damage you take is amplified by 50%. Now it's very important that you pick a good position to set up in, because your intention is to take no damage whatsoever. You're never going to take that damage as long as you have good positioning, so I wouldn't worry about that extra 50% amplified damage. Moving on to the holster, which is the exotic waveform holster. If you guys want to go over the talent, feel free to pause the video to look at it in greater detail. We have a skill tier, 9.7% skill damage and 12% skill haste. Moving on to the backpack, and we have one skill tier, 8.2% skill damage. We have repair skills, sadly. I switched out for skill haste, skill duration, or even status effects duration. And then we have a mod giving us skill duration at 9%. We have tech support, skill kills increase total skill damage by 25% for 20 seconds. A really good buff to have. Or you could use combined arms. In my opinion, this is just a better talent to have. It's a little bit more casual, rather than having to pop up all the time to shoot your enemies and take damage. Because of glass cannon, I find the pairing of glass cannon and tech support works really well. They complement each other. Moving on to our gloves, we have one skill tier, 11.3% skill haste and 7.9% skill damage. As you can see, there's a theme going on here. You want skill damage across the board. Finally, we have our knee pads, which are one piece of wave wear, giving us 10% skill damage. We have one skill tier, 9.7% status effects and 10% skill damage. And that is it for the build, guys. Now, these builds, these skill builds, are super easy to make because you never have to farm for a skill tier. You'll always get one skill tier, and that just makes farming for these builds, these skill builds, so easy because it takes away that one attribute. There's no having to get, you know, max armor. There's no having to get 15% weapon damage. It's one skill tier no matter what. So that's one thing ticked off the list. So all you have to really care about is the two minor attributes. Now we're going to look at the skills real quick. We have the mortar turret, as you can see down here. It says near enough 4 million damage, but we're hitting around 8. With all of the buffs active, it's a tier 6, as you can see there. When it comes to the attachments, we have the 10% damage. We get that. We get this mod because we have the demolitionist. So it's another reason to run that specialization. On top of that, we have 3.6% skill haste. You could probably switch this out for duration. Not that it really matters because this is out for a very long time. We have 443.7 seconds. So it's out for a long time. If I switch that to the duration mod, that goes up a further 24. Oh, I didn't finish all mods. Moving to the other mod, we have the extra mortar ammo. You're only going to gain access to the mortar turret if you have the demolitionist anyway. Moving on to our second skill, the striker drone. We have 7.1% duration. And then we have 9.2% health, so it doesn't get shot down easy, and 4.8% damage. As you can see, it's up for 285.1 seconds, and it puts out 73k damage. Obviously, it gets boosted a lot higher than that. I believe we can hit around for 160 and above quite easily with the buffs active. And that's pretty much it for the build, guys. You don't have to keep the drone. You don't have to have the mortar turret. Like I said, you can switch out the specialization, switch out the skills. It's just a really good cookie cutter build to run. I hope this helps you out. If it has, let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. I will leave you with a stat sheet. Not that it really matters. All that really matters is the skills and the cooldowns and the rolls on the gear. But I will skim through the stat sheet anyway. Appreciate you guys being back. Hitting that like button, showing support in the comment section. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
Serious trauma detected. Server terminal detected.
I don't fucking know.
Serious trauma detected.
Med UAV in the air. What's your line of fire? Control to trouble.
Terminal controlled.